Welcome to another episode of the Reluctant Adult Podcast. My name is Paul, and I am joined, as always, by the man who will not be returning excessive amounts of toilet paper because he has explosive diarrhea. Bill!
Hi, everyone. That's right. And actually, I bought my toilet paper supply a week before the port shut down, so we already had like 30 rolls in the house, and we felt like we were good for a while. Yeah.
I will say I am very happy that the dock situation resolved itself because there is a hurricane that's about to wipe Florida off the map, and it would be a little bit too much if they couldn't get supplies to us. So I'm very happy that resolved itself, because we will need all those waters. We will need bread and peanut butter, all the stuff, the building blocks of life. So Uncle Milty is coming right for us. So this is actually our season premiere. This is season 6. Is that correct? Is that possible? We've done this for 5 full years already? It is. Do the math.
Yeah.
2019.
No, it is.
This is 2000.
We've done it for 5 full years.
5 full years. This is year 6, the start of year 6. Are you kidding me?
It's wild.
It's wild. It doesn't seem right.
If you told me 6 years ago that we would be continually operating the #1 week-to-week toy-centric podcast, I would have said, Sir, you're lying.
You are a liar.
I could never commit to something that much. I barely can commit to my marriage and children that much.
That's a lot.
And yet here
I am.
It's been
a big commitment. I know. The fact that you've shown up every week, I mean, I count my lucky stars. Every time I log on, I expect to be like, Bill's going to say like, well, we had a good run.
Can't do it.
I can't do it. Sorry, it's just too much.
Can't do this. I can't commit. No, this is the one. This has to be the one constant.
This is the one constant.
Yes.
This is like your little doodad that Leo has in Inception. Yeah. This show is your constant to know that this is reality.
Right.
Nice. I like that. I was listening to another toy podcast, Adventures in Collecting, and they must have started right around the same time as us, because they were celebrating the start of their 6th year. So that's kind of amazing to have 2 toy podcasts go that long.
Yes. Congratulations to them as well.
Congratulations. Although they didn't say anything to us, but they might not know. Maybe they'll listen this week.
That's okay. Maybe.
Someone who listened and comment. I know a lot of people listen because then they'll reference something that we said only on the podcast, or like the next day or that same day, like on Monday, I'll get a tweet and I'm like, what are you talking about? I just had that conversation with Bill. Oh no, I forgot we recorded that. That went out on the air. People got to hear that.
That's great. That's great. That's how we wanted to listen. Yeah, we want them to listen to the podcast.
That's the best. Tell a friend. Get those podcast downloads up. I'd like to see what that's like. I want to start running ads again. We have the invisible ad break in the middle. We'll be right back. Hey, we're back. That was quick. I want to start putting stuff there, getting people to pay us. Come on, who wouldn't want these 2 guys promoting your product, right? You know who I think we need to find as a sponsor? The giant banana people.
Oh.
I talked about this a couple of weeks ago. If you never watched the YouTube video, if you never watched the YouTube podcast, it's worth it just for this, to see this massive squishy banana that I'm fondling in front of the camera right now. It's worth it just for that. I don't know that I can put this on TikTok. It does not look good at all.
The brightness on my end is so cranked up that I can't even tell that it's a yellow banana. I think you're holding some kind of fat lightsaber. I don't even know.
It looks like the same like color as my skin, which is problematic.
Yeah.
I don't
you're holding it,
but it is yellow. You'll see on the videos it's yellow. So I had talked about how I found this one week at Five Below, and then I went back the next week and it was gone. And I was like, there's no way that it's sold out. They must have seen my video and and realized that this is not an appropriate toy.
We've got a lot of child advocacy groups out there watching our stuff and being like, nah.
Yeah.
Not in my Five Below. Keep Five Below above the belt, sir.
Well, 5 above the belt. This is much more than 5. This is the 5 Beyond section. That's where this belongs. So my 5 Below, the one that opened right next to my house, pretty much across from the Target that I always go to, they had it, but it was by the register. It was like locked down, like with the Pokemon cards. It's like you have to show your ID to get this. But I scooped it up because why not? And honestly, my kids have had so much fun playing with this, and they're like swinging around, and I'm so afraid it's gonna like hit the TV or something because it's heavy. Look at this thing. Yeah, you can't really tell, but it's disgusting.
It reminds me of the Wobbly Swordy Kid. Do you ever watch the clip of the Wobbly Swordy Kid?
I have no idea what that is. Wobbly Swordy Kid.
I'm just gonna leave it at that. It's one of those, like a sword. Wobbly sword. Yeah.
Oh, wobbly sword. All right. Well, that's something to look up. I'll take a look.
Yeah.
I'll take a look. See, maybe during the break.
Do a deep dive of inappropriateness into the wobbly swordy kid.
Inappropriateness. All right. Very good. Speaking of inappropriate, our videos on TikTok get flagged quite often. We'll get an alert that says your video is not eligible for the TikTok money thing because of reasons, and it doesn't tell you explicitly why. But you have to write back and say, I disagree. Your rationale. Yes. Yeah. So I think we've won 99% of them. There's like one. Is there one we didn't win or it like never returned? Something happened with it.
That's a good question. I mean, you're always ahead of it. Yeah. I'm always behind. Like you already know about it before I do. So it's always a surprise. I mean, it's a surprise to you too. But by the time that you find out, you've already kind of appealing it, and I see it, and I'm like, well, what the hell is this?
What the hell happened? But the craziest one this week is we got a hashtag removed, and it was removed from the clip about The Simpsons Tapped Out, the app game that's going away, and the hashtag was The Simpsons Tapped Out. Okay?
Yep.
The second hashtag on that video did not get removed. Hashtag Simpsons Tapped Out. So the word that's what TikTok had a problem with. The word the.
Okay.
So, God bless anyone that relies on TikTok as like their income, because I can't imagine the anxiety of having to deal with these random like, oh, we were shutting off your career. Your money is gone because of some random thing. Rope. Yeah, it's just
with that.
Yeah. So I appealed it. It has not the hashtag has not been returned as far as I know, so that's unfortunate. Wow. But hopefully people will still find that video. I don't even know how hashtags work on TikTok, if they mean anything, because everyone just gets videos from their FYP and they're just randomly selected. Yeah. I always try to include action figures. I feel like the videos that I don't include action figures do not do well. Like, that is definitely our audience.
Yes.
Especially, was Shrek this week? Talking about those Shrek action figures. That was our big video of the week.
Yeah.
People especially liked that I forgot what year that came out, and I completely misestimated, because I said 2015, and it was actually 2001. I was only 15 years off. Not too bad.
Yeah, not terrible.
But everybody was saying, like, bro. This one comment was like, bro. I don't know what he said. He started it with bro. It got like 250 likes. Just the comment, not the video. The comment of the guy saying bro thinks it's 2015. It's like, all right, whatever. Just keep engaging, guys. Keep engaging. That's all we care about. So that's fun. We actually, speaking of season premieres and big things to come in the new season, we have an interview scheduled for this Wednesday with Brian Volkweiss. If you don't know Brian, he's the founder and he is the CEO of the Nacelle company. And Nacelle is doing big things in the toy sphere at the moment. Yeah. But as I mentioned, there is going to be a hurricane that is coming on Wednesday night to Central Florida. So I am preparing to not do that interview because we will not have power, probably.
Okay.
And I don't want to be sitting here and have the power go out and fry my computer. So if the forecast changes, hopefully we can do that interview, but it's not likely, and we will reschedule for hopefully the week following, and hopefully power has been restored by that point, and we have bread and water and all that.
And hopefully
so I'll let them know. But look forward to that. If you have any questions that you would like us to ask Brian Volkweis, then I suggest you start your own podcast and you get him as a guest and you ask them. I don't know why you think that we would ask your questions. Ooh, this is our podcast.
I already got a list going.
Oh yeah,
all my questions. Yeah,
you're gonna talk to him about the new Star Trek line.
Yes, the new announced Star Trek line exciting. That they have.
I really want to know more about the Walmart end cap. That's where my head's at. I want to know the ins and outs of how do you get an end cap.
How do you? Like it's hard enough to get into Walmart to begin with.
For real. I really want to know.
That is the holy grail of the toy company, is to get into such a large, post Toys R Us, to get in such a large retail space.
This is it. He's like he's reached the pinnacle of toys.
Yeah.
Like, where do you go from here? I see his stuff in Hot Topic. I see it in like comic book shops, but to be in Walmart, that's
with
it. You've made it to the promised land.
Yeah.
Now you just got to do well. Keep it going.
Right.
Keep that shelf space. I guess the goal is to get a permanent spot in the figure aisle, like next to Marvel or wrestling or Simpsons or Pokemon. That's the dream. I don't know if any of the current licenses, I don't necessarily see Cowboys of Moo Mesa hanging there next to Luke Skywalker, but maybe. I don't know.
Maybe. Hey.
Could be. We saw a new cover of that toy magazine, the only toy magazine that exists anymore, and we saw Series 2, Cowboys of Moo Mesa. Or no, it was Biker Mice, right? Is that what it was?
It was Biker Mice, yeah.
It was like Biker Mice. There was like a female biker mouse and then two villains. So the first series of Biker Mice, the Biker Mice are all kind of similar looking. They're just like jacked, furry guys with mice heads. Like, that's pretty much what they look like. But these characters, completely different form factor, like totally new sculpts, unique sculpts. So that'll be fun to add to your biker mouse collection. I was thinking about Biker Mice, and I'm like, I'm the guy that's designing. It's like Ninja Turtles did really well. All right, we need another anthropomorphic creature show. So like they're doing Mad Libs basically. It's like they're mice from Mars, and they ride motorcycles. And then one guy's like, and they're sexy. It's like, why do they gotta be jacked? Why do they gotta have abs? Why do they gotta be sexy mice from Mars? What happened? Why is that necessary? The turtles didn't have abs. I don't think anyone thought the turtles were hot, right? No one had that thought.
No.
Did they? No. Has there ever been an attractive version of the Ninja Turtles?
Maybe the Saban. The Saban. No. You got those figures that came out.
You think the figures?
The next mutation figures?
They tried to give them like the Dorito bodies a little bit. They had like Captain America, just a little bit.
They had Venus de Milo as a figure.
Well, sure. Let's take the female turtle aspect out of it. Well, absolutely.
Do we have to?
As far as turtle, I think we have to for this discussion because Venus
I'm not interested.
Well, come on. Put yourself in the shoes. Put yourself in the shoes of the female fans who watch the Turtles. I just don't think it's like, like we would watch cartoons and there would be like sexy cartoons. Like we would watch Rescue Rangers and we'd be like, damn, that gadget is thick, like that's okay. But I don't think watching the Turtles, I guess you had April. April was like the sex appeal of the Turtle show.
Oh, sure. Well, like back in 1994 with Generation 1, we had RC for the Transformers.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. In 1994. Do you remember?
Sure.
When Transformers first came out in 94?
94. Yeah.
Yes. Generation 1.
Generation 1. I love her blockiness. I love. It's like instead of her curves, I love your squares. Oh yeah.
But you see what I did there?
I don't actually. Can you walk me through it?
Yeah, of course. I misdated the beginning of Generation 1 by 10 years.
That's right. See, I had my head like in Beast Wars. I was like, when was that?
Right.
Was
I
that
just
still the 90s?
10 years. No, I just generated the TikTok clip.
Oh, there you go. You can't do dates with me. I don't know dates. So you could be like saying whatever. I'd be like, sure, I believe you. You know.
Your son was born in 2016. Yeah,
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. I was buying our Disney annual passes that we were going to go for the first time this week. And it's going to fucking hurricane and we can't go. They're going to fucking close the park. And I had to buy a ticket for my oldest son because he's not 3 years old. So I have to pay for him to go. And I had to Google or like search in my email to find his birth date because I did not trust myself that was the correct, because like all the kids and the wife, they all have like the same, they're all from the same month. All their numbers. Sure,
yeah, you have
it's
that.
Like, blah, 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 like, you know, it's just, I can't remember it. I can barely remember. I forget my zip code 50% of the time. Like someone will be like, okay, what's your zip code? And I'll like remember my zip code from when I lived in Massachusetts.
Of course,
or like remember something else. I like cannot remember it. I can't.
I use that old zip code when I want to look for things in New Hampshire as like a general radius. Because if I use my current zip code, it won't pull store inventory from New Hampshire stores. It will do
too many miles away.
Yeah.
Yeah, or you got to expand the radius, say like 50 miles. Or...
I could, but then I get all the stores I like.
That's true. I don't want to go to those stores.
I want to go to those stores.
You were talking about Transformers and just how sexy RC was in 1994. Yeah. I went to see Transformers 1 today. I finally convinced my son that it wasn't going to be too scary. And honestly, knowing what I know now, I probably would have been like, it's going to be too much for you. You don't want to see it. It was good. It was very good. If you chop off the first third, the first third is the most kiddie part. There's like a race. They're buddies. It's like comical.
Yeah, they're just palling around.
They're just palling around, being silly gooses. Once they get to the surface, holy shit, the tone gets real adult real quick. It's pretty good. It's like I definitely recommend seeing it, and I know it hasn't like performed so well that we're like for sure gonna get a sequel. And I don't know that I like, I really want to know what happens, because we know what happens. Like this was a nice origin. We got to see Megatron and Optimus like they were friends. We got to see that. Friends. We got to see
we don't get to see that with Generation 1. We get ideas of it. Right. I know we have it in the comic books. He's not Optimus Prime at the beginning, right? He's
Ryan Pax, they call him.
Oh, Ryan Pax. Yeah, not a
And then Megatron is D16, which is just like, that rolls right off the tongue. I also enjoyed it because John Hamm played the bad Transformer, who like you thought was good at first.
Okay.
So, but his voice, very similar to Chris Hemsworth's American accent. And Chris Hemsworth was playing Ryan Pax. So I was like, wait a minute, who is who? And then I was like, oh, that's right. Steve Buscemi plays Starscream, which was great.
No kidding. Oh, that's fun.
That was great. At first, because I think the guy that did SpongeBob did him in one of the cartoons. Yeah. And I was like, is it him? And it's like, but no, it sounds like... And then the credits rolled. I'm like, oh, it is. It was Steve Buscemi. Good for him. So, plenty of funny little in-jokes for people who are familiar with this series. Great animation, especially when they get up into the... up on the surface, because you start to work in like sunlight and shadows, so it looks much better.
Right.
I don't know. Like I said, it didn't do super well, or not well enough that it's like a sequel is promised. I don't know. I don't know that this is the way to go with Transformers. I really feel like there have to be humans in it.
You think
I don't think it can just be I just don't think if this goes back to my whole cartoons are not as big a deal as live action. And I feel it with this.
Okay.
That first Transformers movie with Shia LaBeouf, that was a good movie.
It was a good movie. It
lost its way. That series lost its way. But like as introducing Transformers into the real world, I don't know that you could have done a much better job. It was great.
I feel like you just need to strike the balance, more or less.
Yeah.
Like you need the right ratio of Transformer scenes to human scenes, and I feel like a lot of the subsequent Transformers movies leaned a lot more on the human scenes and less on the Transformers, and vice versa now.
Yeah, I think it's just a real tightrope to walk.
That Bumblebee movie was good, if you recall. Do you remember the Bumblebee movie?
I don't think I saw it. People seem to like it. And didn't they do a sequel to that? Or was it, last the Beast Wars Transformers movie? Was that supposed to be a sequel?
I don't know if it was a direct. Yeah, it was a sequel.
I think I was disappointed by that. But you know what? Yeah. They are doing another live action Transformers because it's G.I. Joe in Transformers. That's happening.
Oh, nice.
And I think that will actually be a good way to do it because you'll have the humans, but they'll be kind of like, super powered. So it doesn't just seem like, you could just step on them. They could be done. So we'll see what happens. I don't know. But then I was like, I want to see what the toys are like. I went to Target. It's like all the toys for this movie are like this baby crap. They're like real Transformer toys, like good ones. I'm so confused by the Transformer section now. It's like from everything. There's like an Optimus Primal from the last movie, but it's like in that really expensive series, but he's so tiny. I'm like, I don't know what is happening anymore with Transformers. I'm just lost. I can't navigate this world anymore.
So many different class sizes.
Right.
Compared to, and brands as well, because there's like you said, there's like that masterpiece set, but then there's the import ones as well. And then there's the core. It's just all sorts of stuff.
It's just too much. I'm just so confused. I don't know how anybody keeps track. What kids are buying. Yeah.
We caved and let my son, or we ordered it for him, but we ordered Ghostbusters Frozen Empire.
The movie?
And I remember being on the fence with that movie. I like it now. We watched it again. It's a great movie. It's a lot of fun.
Great. It's so much fun.
Yeah. It's just like, if you just suspend everything and say, this is just real Ghostbusters, you're like, now it makes sense.
That's the whole thing. It's like, just enjoy it. It's like, I don't know what people expected
and I was like, this is tremendous.
Movies. It's like the first Ghostbusters is untouchable, but there are people that don't even like the sequel.
Sure.
So then you compare like the newer versions, and it's like, well, it's at least as good as Ghostbusters 2. Come on. It's just, it tries to do more. It tries to be funny, but also be like a real movie. Like not just like, like they did the Paul Feig, like all female Ghostbusters. That was just like a funny movie. That was like Bridesmaids, but they were Ghostbusters.
Sure.
These movies try to be real like drama movies. And it's tricky to do that and be like this, it's a cartoon basically. But make people feel. Make me feel.
My son also saved my wife's birthday theme. Which
what does that mean?
Was a tremendous gift. So every year, I like a good theme birthday.
Sure.
Like, I don't think I've ever outgrown the Ghostbusters party where everything is themed to Ghostbusters.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anything like that, like Jurassic Park, any license. So each year, and me and my wife have been together, I think, for 15 years now. Each year on her birthday, I'd either make her a cake or I would design the theme around like the culmination of like an interest of hers.
Yeah.
So one year it was like Angry Birds. The other year it was Downton Abbey, True Blood, etc.
What a variety! That's such the three.
One year
that's like Angry Birds or Downton Abbey.
One year it was Northwood's Law. The other year it was.
Know what that is. I don't know what that is.
That was a show about game wardens up in New Hampshire.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Look at that. I'm looking at it. Wow.
Right.
It's like a reality show?
It was a reality show where they just arrested people for disobeying the law of the wild.
Live free or die up there.
Yeah. Well, it used to be up in Maine, but they thought it was going to impact the tourist industry up there. Yeah, because they were like, you got too many fish. You're under arrest.
Oh, you're under arrest. Damn.
So this year I was just all birthdayed out. I'm like, I don't know what kind of theme she wants. So out of the blue, my wife sends me a message. She goes on the day before her birthday. She goes, I can't wait to see my Minions Taylor Swift, like my half Minions, half Taylor Swift birthday. And I'm like, well, what is this? I go,
what?
She goes, Will spilled the beans. And I go, what? I go, I got no clue what you're talking about.
Those are some beans to spill. Wow.
Yes. So from there, I was like, this is an amazing combination of properties and people.
Yeah.
So I made a whole, like, I got glittery cups and Minions cups and yellow balloons and all from the Dollar Tree. It was the most well-designed. Dollar Tree saved the day. They have all this fun stuff now. They have a tiny little... if you run out of power down there, I'll send one down. They have a little hand, like a moon, like a moonlight.
Now. Send it tomorrow.
It's a moonlight. You know those lights that are shaped like the moon, and they have they had a tiny version of it for $1.25.
Is it how you power it?
With a battery.
Solar? Well, okay. Well, I gotta get some of those.
No, just a battery.
just a battery. We're gonna run out of those.
Get the ones the kids eat. Those batteries.
The little or the little like watch circle ones. Those are the ones I love to eat. Those. They're so tasty. Put them in my Tide Pod.
But he saved the day. So
good for him.
Yeah,
because
I couldn't believe it.
He created the theme.
He created the theme.
He told her.
And he told her.
She told you. It would have been a secret, and then you've been like, "Oops."
Yeah, no kidding. Oh my God, could you imagine? It's a good thing we communicate well enough.
You reveal the cake, and it's like the Kylo Ren Rey cake, and she's like, "This isn't what I wanted.
This isn't.
What is this?
This isn't the cake that I expected to get."
It's funny. You talk about doing these themes for your wife's birthday. Last year, I got my wife a cake. I forgot candles.
Oh.
That's the extent. I got the cake from Publix, grocery store. I didn't get candles. It's like, here you go.
Do yourself a favor. Do yourself a favor. Go to Dollar Tree. Get a pack of 25 candles. Get 2 packs of 25. And just stash a package away.
Yeah.
You'll be all set for at least a few years.
Yeah. That's what my wife probably does. But
she doesn't tell you what the candles are.
When are we done with birthdays? Ever? I guess not.
What do you mean?
I just don't care about birthdays.
I think 41. I'm done.
Yeah, I'm done.
Like I was at the I don't care. You do whatever you want to do.
I don't want anything.
And it didn't stop my parents from throwing me a little dinner.
That's nice.
And a little cake, and I was like, this is perfect. This is all I want.
Perfect. That's all you want. Yeah.
And I got that giant dog, that I showed off a few weeks ago. Yeah.
The terror
that was great.
Dog, yeah.
Yeah, the terror dog.
That's all.
Yeah.
That's all a guy needs. A little
41.
Terror dog.
It's coming up. You're almost there.
I hope I make it. I hope
you make it too.
Please, Hurricane Milton, let me make it. Come on, so close.
Wait, they named it Milton?
Milton, yeah, Milton.
Oh
Bradley.
my God!
Wouldn't that be great? I'm killed by something named after a toy.
That
Milton
would be
Bradley.
awful. Milton.
It's Hurricane Hasbro. Oh fuck! Here it comes. Little Stevie.
Damn you, Mr. Stevie.
Mr. Stevie, take your hurricane back to Pawtucket. I don't want it. Oh boy. Let's see. What time is it? Well, we got time for a little more. We're talking about movies. The Joker 2 French words came out
Folie
this
à
week.
deux. Yes.
What does that mean in French? I imagine.
God, you're gonna. No, I remembered once. It's something of two. It's like
yeah.
The dance of two, or
well, there you go.
Cut all this out. Who knows what it's about?
Perfect. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's doing very poorly in terms of box office and like cinema scores. Like they'll ask people what they think, and everyone's like F, D.
Oh yeah, like the review aggregates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's performing worse than the Marvels 2 and like all those movies that did poorly. There was another one recently, I feel like, that did really poorly in the sequel.
Okay.
And there's a lot of reasons for this. First of all, I don't know who thought that making a musical as a sequel to a superhero movie was a good idea.
Right.
It's an idea.
It's
I don't
an
know
idea.
If it's a good idea. It's an
I
idea.
checked out at that point. I mean, I think at that point when I heard it was a musical. Now I don't mind musicals when they are clearly supposed to be musicals. I don't mind them. My Fair Lady, musical. Rent, musical.
Wicked.
Wicked, probably. What if that is not a musical? What if there's no singing in that?
See, I would love that.
But this,
Street horror.
You can immediately remove 50% of my interest from a Joker movie with a musical element to it.
Now, he's insane.
Sure.
So I think it does. It's not that it doesn't make sense that he could be singing because he's insane.
Right.
And it's like, it could be a real movie and then in his head he's singing. That's fine. Whatever.
Of course. Yeah, no, I get that. That's like the old Robot Chicken episode where Anakin's daydreaming that he's in a field of flowers with Padme and he's executing all the younglings in reality, but he's just dancing around. If you ever remember that clip, it's great.
I do remember that.
Yes. It's a classic.
Is that show still on?
I don't know. I don't know if it is, but
I feel like it's not. I feel like it burned real hot, real fast, and then it's like either ran out of like content or I don't know. But it was very good at the time. I was very happy to see that as a thing. So back to the Joker. So right away, a musical, you're gonna lose some people.
Yeah.
Then the fact that he's not even the Joker is kind of weird,
Right.
He's not. It's not like the Batman where that exists and he's the Batman, and then there's also going to be like James Gunn's Superman that has a Batman, and that's the brave and the bold, and that's Batman. This was called Joker, but he's not the Joker. He wears clown makeup and
right,
and I guess that's really the only thing. Like he kills people and he does crime, but I mean
if you
the origins
go all
are
the
different.
Way back. Right, and if you go back all the way to the first movie, and just take out any reference of Gotham, and then any of the Batman stuff, like the Bruce Wayne, any of that stuff, which doesn't account. I mean, it accounts for a little bit of the movie, but if you took it all out, then it would just be the story of a crazy guy who dressed like a clown, and that's all it would be. Yeah,
that's all it is. Yeah.
Right.
And then apparently it's just not a good movie. And people have started to share clips of it because they're like, this is literally what happens in the movie. You need to see
I can watch it live on TikTok. I was doing the same thing I was doing with Deadpool and Wolverine there.
Sure. But you wanted to see Deadpool and Wolverine. Like that was a good movie.
I did see it before. I did see it before I started watching it on TikTok.
But you ended up liking it more seeing it on TikTok.
Correct.
You needed to see it that second time. This movie has a pretty disturbing ending, and then basically it ends with him being like he abandons the persona, and then spoiler alert, I think he dies, right? He dies.
That's what I've heard. Yeah,
I think he dies. Yeah. So that's it, folks. There's definitely not going to be a third one. Just forget it. It never happened, and learn from this. Honestly, I have to wonder what James Gunn is thinking right now, because imagine. He puts out Superman. He's putting it out against Fantastic Four too, right? Like in July.
Take your word for it. Sure.
I think it's up against something big.
Push that date forward or back, please. Right.
He's just got to be concerned because if it fails, you just scrap it all, right? Like what can you do?
Just make everything Batman. It's just all Batman.
Back to Batman.
Back to Batman.
Back to Batman.
Never in my life, and I know DC has its fans, has a plethora of fans.
They exist,
but outside of Batman, I couldn't put 5. I couldn't count 5 characters.
Characters? You could do 5.
Like outside of the Batman and his rogues gallery.
You could do the Justice League. Come on.
I could. No, I could. That's an exaggeration.
Do 10.
But like, do 10?
Can you do 10?
10 right now?
10 non-Justice League.
How about not including the Justice League and not including anything animated?
Anything? Oh, anything? Well, everything's been animated at this point.
Everything has been animated, but I mean, okay, I can't do it. Captain Boomerang?
Well, I could do it. Captain Boomerang, sure. Well, think about like Suicide Squad. You know some people from there.
Sure, I do.
Deadshot? Killshot?
Kill Switch?
Killswitch engaged, sure. General Flag. What's his name? Oh, John Cena. What's his character?
Homelander?
Eagly? I was going to say Homelander too, but no, it's not. We're talking about Homelander later.
It's Peacemaker.
Peacemaker. And Eagly. And then the Spot? That's Spider-Man. But there's like Brainiac, sure. But that's Superman. I guess that counts.
Okay.
Lois Lane, Jimmy Olsen. Yeah, it's just not... I don't know if Marvel's just done a better job or they're just more interesting characters. It's very interesting. It's very interesting, the dynamic between the two.
I want to know, it's almost like the Harry Potter sorting hat. At what point do you get sorted into Marvel or DC?
Yes.
In your life?
I think it changes. Because growing up, we had the Batman movies, and we didn't have Marvel movies. And then we had DC cartoons, and we had like X-Men cartoon, but that was pretty much it. Spider-Man.
No, we had Iron Man, and we had Fantastic Four, and we had.
But I didn't watch those. I don't think those were as good.
I know we did. Well, you had moved on to Power Rangers at that point.
But I also don't think those were on Fox. Weren't they on like UPN or something?
Probably.
Yeah, I don't think those were like A-list cartoons. So DC, like, I feel like they really ruled the like movies and TV for a long time. Yeah. And then Marvel just took over with movies, and movies are the biggest thing. But that's just one man's opinion. Anything else on that? Or do you want to move on?
No.
From that?
So, see the Joker, don't see the Joker. Form your own opinion. But
go see Transformers 1. It needs your help more. They're not making more Jokers. They might make another Transformers.
But what else is on the horizon for movies?
For
the
movies?
Rest of the year. For the rest of the year, anything? That Tom Hanks movie that's all in one spot?
Oh, I forgot about that.
Is that about
I still haven't seen anything for Venom. Venom's coming out. They had a Venom trailer before Transformers, which I felt was sort of inappropriate.
Oh.
Like, this is a kids movie. Although they sweared a lot in this Transformers movie, like much more than that one shit.
Who taught them how to swear?
And then, you know how they would do on Beast Wars? They would say like, "Oh, slag" or something. Like they would have their own swear words.
Oh, for in this one, up cold.
Yeah, I love that. In this one, instead of calling him a bitch, he was like, "Ah, you're a glitch." Like, you're a glitch.
Well, that's
like,
just
I know what you're saying. And then that's just prime. And then Optimus flipped off a guy, and they showed it for like a split second, and they cut away.
Wow.
Yeah, it was pretty dirty. It was pretty dirty.
These guys.
And then like so much TNA, it was just too much. I had to look away at a certain point.
Was RC sexy in this, or was it?
Oh yeah.
Was it RC or was it Alita 1? Did they?
Yeah, it was Alita 1. Yeah, I thought you were talking about the car from Toy Story. And we'll be right back. Did you see that NECA is doing a costume contest for their Ben Cooper action figures?
No, tell me more.
They want you to post a photo of you in a costume. It doesn't have to be a Ben Cooper costume, but they said that would be great. And then they'll pick somebody and they win a full set of Series 3, which is the one I want the most, with the Gremlin and the alien.
Oh, so
I need to remember to do that.
So should I enter my costume group from Salem?
Yes.
Does that count?
Spam them. Spam. It does.
Okay.
I think it does. I didn't read the rules fully. It's like I was scrolling by, or I think I was like about to drive, and so I just took a screen cap of it because I was like, I know next time I open the app, it's gonna be gone. So I have to go back and look at it. But I wrote it down on my list. I was like, things I want to talk about. I want to win something. I used to win a lot of internet contests. I haven't won anything in so long. It's been so long.
I can't say I've ever. Maybe one or two.
Yeah.
But only recently with you, I think. I mean, I just never enter any, but it just seems like the odds are...
You got to play to win. You got to play to win.
Of course. Yeah. I get that.
I will say that I enter fewer now because they ask too much of you. It's like tag a friend, tag 3 friends, retweet, follow like several different... There's like a whole different website that handles them. Where it's like, do these things, you can get points. And I was like, I'm not going to... No, stop.
It's like promoting a moose toy at this point.
For real. They want too much out of us. And then for nothing. We get nothing in the end. It was not fun. It's not like scratching a scratch ticket. At least that's fun. The anticipation.
Yes.
Yeah. So I guess what I'm saying is please don't enter NECA's contest because I want to win. And I don't want the odds to be stacked against me. Or enter for me. Everyone write my name in and say, give it to Paul. He really wants to win. Last week, we talked about the Ninja Turtles Kickstarter. This week, they are re-releasing that Shredder's Revenge video game in another bundle. Is that what I saw?
It seems like this is the game that just keeps getting... I mean, they do this with... they do something similar with like Super Smash Brothers, where they'll make more DLC, and then you can buy more amiibos that go with the DLC. But this seems like it's the game that's forever being rebundled and repackaged. And I think we saw some new character sprites, I think they call them those, for the upcoming
new
release.
Characters?
Correct.
That haven't been in the game before.
Right.
Can I still play this on Netflix? Like, that's how I was playing it.
That's a good question.
Which I don't even understand how that works. But I was like, oh, free. I can finally use my my backbone that I bought to play Fortnite. But then it's like, I don't like playing Fortnite on my phone because the RAM or whatever, like it just doesn't feel the same. Plus I need the big controller that I bought for my Switch. But the cool thing about this bundle is if you buy it, you get four figures that are those original Playmates Turtles, but painted like from the game.
Yeah. So they have like a degree of pixelation and cell shading. Okay.
Yeah, they have like McFarlane gave the shadows to their the cell shading shadows. The cell shading shadows. Say that 3 times fast.
Make that your band name next time.
Oh yeah, we are the cell shading shadows.
You guys suck. You can't even say your name right. You suck.
I have a speech impediment. So if you look at the photo, the funny thing is it's all photoshopped because they have one of the layers overlapping the other layer that's supposed to be behind it. Like the Mizun card figure is on top of the loose figure in front of it. So I'm like, this doesn't exist. It's not real. This is not a real thing that they had to photograph.
Yeah.
But I do like the idea of Playmates recoloring these original figures because that's not something they've really ever done. And it seems like such a no-brainer. Like, you could do what Funko does with their Pops. Like, they did that art series. You could just start doing that, like making them crazy colors. Like, the most we got was they painted Leonardo gold for that anniversary set.
Yeah, that's true. I found that.
Give me them all in gold.
There you go. Oh, I like that. I remember that gold Leo. That was a tremendous. That was like a tremendous statue thing. Yes, it was great. And it wasn't just like painted gold. It was the what do they call it? The plated gold. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like C-3PO.
Nice. Yeah.
Vac form. The vac form.
Vac metal. Ooh, I like it.
Yeah, vac metal. That, yes.
Yeah.
Give it 20 years
give
and
us
it will
that.
just slough off. I found that display, the Mutant Mayhem or whatever the turtle display they have going forward.
The end cap?
It's more like an island display. Like that's like a pallet drop.
I have like the NECA end cap.
Do you have the Miss Rachel display yet?
No. She got a whole display? What else does she have? She has a doll and a book and a headband?
No, she got all this fun baby stuff too. It's all just like soft play items.
It's toys?
You and I wouldn't consider them toys, but
well, no,
you know, a 3-month-old would consider them a toy.
It's like animals? What is it?
No, it's like, it's like a triangle, but one side is a mirror, so they could look at themselves. And then it's all soft play stuff. So, like, there's a book that you can fold, and it's all fabric pages.
Crinkly?
Yeah, there's probably some crinkle in it. The crinkle books are nice. Yeah,
those are nice.
But I found that turtle display, and I found the one ray fillet, which was fantastic. I sent you a photo. I found Pigeon Pete. I found all the new... I'm just buying the mutants. I'm not buying the variant turtles anymore. Just the mutants. And I was there with my son, and it was a toss-up between him getting a Gujitsu-style minion and Ray Fillet. And he's like, I'm picking the minion. And I was like, all right, The rest of all this is going to Christmas. I was like, I don't even care if you see it. Going to Christmas for you.
I'm not
like,
out on it.
He's like constantly, I wasn't going to miss out on those.
No.
For him. Not. But then like, he's like constantly looking in the trunk now. He's like, remember when you said that was for Christmas? It's like, yeah, it's for Christmas. Yeah. Christmas isn't on Tuesday. It's
Get
Christmas.
Out of here, kid.
Well, how many days? And I'm like, well, like 84 days till Christmas. Well, how many is that? Well, too many.
Is that accurate? 84 days? It's not enough.
Close.
It's getting close.
It's getting up there. You worry about it after next Wednesday. Or Thursday.
If we survive.
Yeah, Christmas shouldn't even be on your radar right now.
No, it's not. I feel like we're skipping Halloween this year. But you're in the Halloween mood because you went to your old haunt.
Yes, we
Salem haunt.
We almost decided not to do it up until this past Monday. We said, I don't know if we're even going to bother going down. I took this weekend off for my wife's birthday, and my cousin who I do this with and my cousin reached out. He was like, I'm thinking about going down, and he's like, hey, just let me know. I can probably do Sunday. And then I looked at the agenda for today, and it just included a kid's birthday party and 2 soccers. And I was like, wife, do I really need to go to these? I took the weekend off to be with you and celebrate your birthday. I didn't necessarily have soccer plans.
Oh, wow.
And she was like, you want to go down to Salem? And I'd say, I'd really like to. So we did, and we had a great time.
Nice.
We did.
Is the weather cool? Was it cold?
It was about 72, so it was very nice. And there was a nice breeze. It was very comfortable all day. People were very generous with their purses and wallets.
Are you doing the QR code, or are you still just taking cash?
We did the QR code this year.
Oh, nice.
And I did it. I started it last year just to try it out.
Sure.
This year, I put it on the tip bucket.
Yeah.
And it accounted for it. Cash is still king down there, which was great, but it accounted for enough of a percentage of people like I'd call them lost sales, because some people don't carry cash, and
100%.
Some people don't tip unless there's a convenient thing to do.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
So we did it.
I'm not giving you $10.
We did it, and I told you the sum. I'm not going to put the sum out there right now, but
$36 million.
That was it. That was just
one guy.
Pittance.
Elon Musk stopped by on his way to the Trump rally, and he gave you
He
the
just
most of that.
threw it. He took a picture from his helicopter. Oh,
it's helicopter. He was traveling underground, right? Like that's his thing. The what's it called? He had his flamethrower and his Cybertruck. He was gonna make.
His business
gonna be like
Cybertrucks. Oh, is it tunneling?
I parked next to one at the movies today. I took a picture with it.
You took a picture,
posted it
as you should.
New ride, and I don't think anybody liked it because they probably hated it. I need to post like, just kidding. I just parked next to this. I didn't buy this.
Yeah.
Although I do need a new car. Do you have any car recommendations for me?
Just wait till one floats down the road in front of your house.
Oh, I do. It's hard to get insurance down here now, but like, I guess if it wants to take my car away, now would be the perfect time because I need to go buy. We need 2 new cars down here. We're having trouble. Hyundais, they were great for a while, and then they all just unilaterally decided to suck. Like, let's all fall apart now.
Get yourself a nice CRV. They do well for the family.
Honda, is that? Honda
it is
CRV?
a Honda CRV. They do well. They resale well. They hold up. Low maintenance.
That's not expensive. That's not too bad.
No.
I forget everything about buying cars. How much does a car cost? How much you put down? How do you do financing? Idea. I forget all this stuff.
There's too much stuff. Show me the Carfax.
There's too much to know. No, I'm not doing that. I need a new one. I've never bought a new car. I feel like this is the time. Not that I'm in a position to do it. I just feel like, why not?
Yeah, why not?
Why not? My car is so old, it doesn't even have Bluetooth built into it. I had to buy like an adapter at Five Below.
What car number is this for you?
Let's see. The first car I ever had was that yellow Mustang, which was ridiculous, but I loved yellow, and I had that. And I drove that.
It's a fun ride.
Until it died. It was only like a V6 or whatever.
Do you remember not to interrupt
no, but I had one before
your chronology. Before the yellow Mustang?
Yeah, I had a Pontiac Grand Am. That was my very first car.
Ah, okay.
Must not have had that very long, though.
Do you remember driving up to Super Walmart and we got pulled over by the police, and we thought we got pulled over because we interrupted him pulling someone else over? Like, he was going after somebody and we kind of got in the way, so he decided to pull us over?
No.
You don't remember this? No, he just gave us
I was going to say, I don't remember getting a ticket. Yeah. We, like, got in between them?
We didn't get in between them, but it was enough. I think it was enough that you may have, and this is me just kind of maybe not remembering, but this is also what the officer had said. He said that we went into the other lane, and that forced him to slow down.
Oh.
And the other car sped away.
Oh, he lost
his pursuit.
Get out of here. Cop.
So he turned around and pulled you over at like 11:36 p.m. on a Monday night.
Be mad at me.
What are you people up to? We're going to Walmart to buy DVDs for the midnight release.
We're gonna go look at DVDs at Walmart.
That's all we're doing.
Sir?
That's all we were doing.
Sir? Is that a crime now?
In our yellow Mustang.
Yellow Mustang.
Terrific. Yeah. All right, so back to it.
Yeah, so that was my second car, and then I got that died here in Florida, and then I got the Hyundai Elantra.
Okay,
which
so
has
you're
been
on
okay.
Car 3?
Car 3. My wife got a Sonata a year after I got my Elantra, and she's had more problems. There's been more recalls. Things have just fallen apart. The Florida sun really messes with anything that's plastic. Like, it starts cracking. Like, things just start. But we don't have, like, the salt that you guys have from the ice. So it's like, you're damned if you do, and you're damned if you don't.
I had the Mercury Mystique in high school and most of college. Mm-hmm. And then I had the Ford Focus, which got me all the way to meeting my wife and buying our house. And then we traded that in for the CRV, and I got my wife's Honda Civic. Mm-hmm. So, and then we just that I just ran into the ground, and now I have the Ford Edge. So I have exclusively owned 3 cars and borrowed a 4th.
We they're sedans, but like we probably need at least one of us to have like a bigger car, because like
makes a world
just
of
to
difference.
Like pick up stuff that you see like on the free Facebook page, it's like they're giving away a treadmill. I was like, what do I do?
Right. The problem with the larger car, though, or the single larger car, is it becomes the primary car. Do you have a primary car, or do you share?
No, we each have our own car.
No, but I mean, like, so you have like your trips A, B, but like on the weekend you have trip C. Which car do you use on trip C?
My wife drives almost exclusively.
Okay, that's nice.
Because I don't like to drive.
Oh, very good.
And she's not good navigating.
My wife,
so it's like
my
I
wife
can't drive
drove
and depend on her to do that.
Last week, and it was terrifying. So.
Oh, really? Yeah.
I'm not a good passenger. I tend to do the alarmist things. I'm comfortable in my own driving, but no one else's. I hit the fake
imaginary brake. Yeah,
the imaginary brake. I put my hand up.
Put your hand up on the
Yep,
thing.
I'm doing that.
Yeah, sometimes that happens.
Yes.
Yeah. My wife is a multitasker, which I don't encourage. She'll be changing the music on her phone or something, and I feel like I'll do it. I could do it. I need
a calming chew before I get in the car with anyone else. Like things like you give a puppy going to the vet. Give me like a calming chew.
Well, that's why I need one of these like future cars that basically drives itself, like the one that we rented to drive up to North Carolina.
Sure.
I could drive that because it's like I just throw it in speed control and it like tells me if there's a cop. Like I don't even need. I can just focus on the wheel. I don't even have to use my foot. Like if I can just focus on one thing, I feel like I'm good. But I have to like listen to this. I gotta listen to that. I gotta be looking over here. I gotta check that. I was like, I can't do this many things. I need to focus on the road. So that's why I don't like driving with other people, because they're like, let me talk to you about dinosaurs. I was like, shut up! I'm driving. Stop it.
Yeah, right.
And everybody's mad at me, and it's got to go on, and blah 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 blah. So yeah. So if anyone has any car recommendations, that'd be great.
I found out that I could link my Siri to my car, which isn't like the most exciting thing I've heard because it's just a normal like Bluetooth thing. But I downloaded Apple Music for the month so I could put some spooky tunes on.
Nice.
And for whatever reason, it was like, oh, do you want to link Siri? And now I could just be like, Siri, play the Monster Mash.
Oh.
And it will play
Here
it.
is the Monster Mash by... Like,
Bobby
not that
Doris
one.
Pickett.
Not that one.
Doggone it. That's always the funniest. That's a great Simpsons episode with Ralph.
Which one?
The Valentine's Day episode where Ralph falls in love with Lisa.
And
the radio station just keeps playing the Monster Mash.
That's right.
Like accidentally.
But then they try to explain
No, I don't think
why they were doing it.
Yeah.
The DJ had to come on and say something. I feel like there was some sort of chatter, banter there. Yeah, that's funny. Are they doing a Treehouse of Horror this year? Does it air in November? Baseball.
I guess it depends on the World Series. It always does, doesn't it? It's terrible.
Yeah. You liked the season premiere last week with Conan.
I did.
You said it was good.
Yeah.
You think that they've turned the ship around? You think something happened? It's going to start to be good again?
It's a good question. I mean, my goal for the month is to watch all the Treehouse episodes. Ooh. And I was talking to someone at work, and I said, wouldn't it be interesting, because there's stuff I have never seen. Like, there's probably, at this point, a 20-year spread worth of The Simpsons.
The newer ones. Yeah.
Could you imagine that if I liked a Treehouse of Horror so much from these newer seasons that I went back and, like you, but actually succeeded with watching all these Simpsons, and that became my new show, and I was just watching endless Simpsons at this point.
Can you do the math? How many hours?
24. How many hours at this point? I don't know.
Yeah, like you give you time to sleep. You get 8 hours a day to sleep. How many days would it take you to watch every episode?
Oh my gosh, who knows? I've been just doing two Treehouse episodes at night to get through, so it's enough.
We're due for some Jax announcements for new Simpson figures.
Yeah,
we're due because we
should be.
Well, we saw Series 2. So
well, New York Comic Con is coming up.
Yeah, is that? Well, isn't there an actual toy fair, or did they put that back in January or February?
Oh God, I don't even know.
They moved it all around, and then it's like they canceled it.
We just don't care at this point. No one cares about fairs. They only care about cons.
They don't care about fairs. Yeah, that's true.
What's a fair?
I don't know.
Everybody can attend a con. Only the press can attend a fair.
Yeah, but the term press is so watered down now.
It is. Like, I know
anybody can be anybody with a blog or Twitter. I see people on Twitter. That's literally all they have is Twitter. But they got into Toy Fair. You just need one company to vouch for you. Did
you see the Ghostbusters HasLab news?
I just saw that they listed
right
one.
Before.
Is there anything
they listed it. So they listed it. But they listed it in pounds. Like the cost
for British pounds, not the
yes.
Yeah.
And then there was
a price. What's the price?
£799.
That's heavy.
And 99 cents. But there's two. There's two. There's two
That's
tiers.
That's almost $1,000.
There's like a regular, and then there's a deluxe tier.
That's too much dollars.
Yeah, but like similar to
dollary dues.
People are thinking that it's a play set at this point because it's similar to what they did with the Cantina.
Oh, because there's a Well, what's the lower tier? What's the price difference?
I think it's $4.99 and then $7.99. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then they put up images of the Proton Pack.
What?
It's very wild.
They sold?
Yes.
What
and
happening?
They put on that it didn't fund, and I'm like, it was just kind of wild.
Somebody forgot to to turn off like auto update when they're
sure. Like whether this has anything to do with the announcement at New York Comic-Con.
Where is this? It's not on the HasLab page.
I saw it from Ghostbusters
Is
News.
It gone now? I saw it too, but I just assumed.
I saw it on Instagram. Is where I saw it.
Yeah, but do you think they took it down?
Maybe they did.
Maybe they took it down
because it was inaccurate.
Yeah, I always wonder if it's intentional because they did that with the selfie series too. That one I don't think was intentional. They just someone really fucked up putting that up early. Oh, the poor selfie series. I want to do the history of series. That was easy because it was very quick. Very quick life.
I went to Ollie's this past week, which I hardly ever do. I got the Everett Ross figure.
Who's that?
That's the Tim from The Office, whatever that actor's name is.
What? Tim from The Office?
From the British Office. From the British Office.
Oh, from Lord of the Rings?
From Lord of the Rings and...
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Wait, is it Everett Ross? Or is it that?
I don't know.
Yeah. So I just got him for the suit body, so I could pop my selfie series head on the suit.
Everett K. Ross. Well, you never got one of the Marvel Legends figures, so it's not going to work.
Oh, shoot.
But it'll still sit, but it won't. The ball won't fit.
That's all right. I'll just glue my head to it.
Yeah. I got that figure, but I got it from because the one that you bought in the plastic free is from the special edition where they re-released those figures.
Yes.
So I got the original back in the day, but I think it was on clearance. But I did the same thing. I just wanted the suit body. I could care less. About,
okay.
What's his name? Martin? Is that his real name?
Martin Short.
Martin Freeman. Martin Freeman is his name.
Morgan Freeman.
Morgan Freeman. Famous Hobbit. Which Hobbit does he play? Frodo? Like old Frodo or new Frodo?
No, he plays Samwise.
Samwise Gimli?
Bilbo
Baggins. Have you ever seen the thing where it's like Dildo Baggins. You ever seen the thing where it's like an action figure card and it's like the name, it's like Star Trek, and then the figure is Darth Vader, and then the font is like something else. It's like everything is from something else.
Yes.
It's like, what happened here? What's going on?
I'm a big fan of those bootleg sets where it's like 4 awful Star Wars figures and then one random character from like Mexico, whatever that is. And it's like Star Brigade.
Yeah. I love it. At least they tried.
Got SpongeBob there.
Ooh, SpongeBob fits everywhere. He is like the key
He's
to
the
multiverse.
Deadpool. Yes.
He's the Deadpool. He is the what was Deadpool called? He was the there's a word for it. I can't remember.
The Keymaster.
He's the Keymaster. Apropos of nothing, the rumor going around was that the fact is that they are selling Muppet Studios. The Henson family is selling Muppet Studios. The famous Muppet Studios has the Kermit on the top. They're selling it. The rumor today was that they were selling it to the Church of Scientology.
Whoa!
People not pleased. They're not there for that. Thankfully, the Henson family came out and made a statement. They said that is not happening. We're not selling. They are not one of the buyers. But still, someone's going to own some Muppet history. I don't know if any of the Muppets come with the purchase or it's just the grounds. But
interesting.
The Muppets. I feel like if Muppets are your main thing, if you're like the Muppet guy on Twitter.
Yeah.
This is like the worst timeline for you. Like there's no hope for the Muppets. But you know what the funny thing is? There's been like several celebrity articles recently where they say their dream project is to work with the Muppets.
Oh, sure.
But then you have the headlines saying that like they're selling the Church of Scientology. Like there's no in between.
Wasn't it?
It's like it's terrible.
Wasn't Jason Segel's dream to work with the Muppets?
And he realized that dream. He brought him back. And honestly, that was a great movie. And the fact that they couldn't capitalize on it, the fact that Muppets Most Wanted was so bad. Bad. But you know what's crazy? Go ahead. You go ahead.
Well, I'm just really wondering why I don't have the same degree of affection to the Muppets as you do.
Did you watch Muppet Babies?
I did.
Okay.
But outside
I just
of that,
really love
and I like the Great Muppet Caper.
Sure.
I think.
Sure. Yeah.
And that's it.
There's just something visually appealing about them, and the fact that you can have this creature that does not exist, but you can make it exist. And it's not like animation where you can't do it, or like you can't like do it live. You can't be like, I have this idea, I want to see what this looks like. Send the animation away to Japan or China, get it back a year later. You can just do it. It can just happen. There's just something very cool about that.
Okay.
But I don't know that anyone has figured out, and maybe they don't. There's no place in present day for Muppets. Maybe that is what it is. But I feel like we need Muppets more than ever. I feel like now is the time that we need the Muppets. And Disney just doesn't seem interested in doing anything with them. But I see people saying Disney is foolish because what they could do is, instead of doing these live action Disney remakes of cartoons, do them with the Muppets.
Oh.
Snow White.
Like they did with Muppet Treasure Island.
Yes. That's the key.
Muppet Christmas
That's what
Carol.
they can do. That's
Muppets,
what they got to do.
But Star Wars.
Yes.
Gasp.
Yes. Star Wars Muppets. Make it happen. But the other problem is the actors, the Muppeteers, I think that's what they're called, Muppeteers. They're transitioning out of being Muppeteers. Like, obviously Kermit's had several voices. They like fired the guy that did After Jim for a long time. They have a new guy doing Kermit. Doesn't really sound like Kermit. I'm not sure why he got the job. Not sure. I don't really understand.
Okay.
The guy that does Gonzo, that's always done Gonzo, he's just old. These people get old. They age out. So his performance is not like what it used to be. So eventually, someone else is going to have to do Gonzo, and that's going to be a whole thing. And then, like, you know, Jim Henson did like half the characters. And then Frank Oz, he did Miss Piggy, did Fozzie Bear. He's old too. I think he came back to do Yoda, but he might not have puppeteered him. So it's like, what do? You got to bring in a whole new crew. I don't know, man. Worst timeline for Muppets.
It's like what was that movie where they had to go and they had to teach the animators how to draw was it a Disney movie recently?
I feel like it was like The Lion King. Like they brought in a lion. Do you remember that?
No.
I really feel like that was the thing, they brought in a lion.
I'm going to have to...
It was recent?
Someone help me out. This was within the last... Oh, it was the Mary Poppins movie that came out.
Oh, they had to teach
recently.
Them how to do the old style.
Yes.
Yeah.
All the artists had to be retaught how to draw in that animation style.
It's like asking us how to do like cursive writing or like just write with a pencil. Like, I don't know.
Sure.
How do you do that? I don't know. Don't ask me to write my name, my signature. It's going to look different every time. Still count my vote, my mail-in vote. That is my signature. I couldn't replicate it how I did it when I first got my license.
All your votes and ballots are going to be lost.
I know.
In the storm.
That's why we got the mail-in vote. We're putting them in the mail on Monday, so it doesn't have to go that far. So hopefully it'll get counted, because it sends us an email to say like your vote has been counted. You're good. So like once we have that, in theory, we're good to go. But again, we're in Florida, so I'm not 100% on any of this. I don't know. It'll be what it's gonna be.
Oh.
Speaking of that, live action Rugrats. Did you see that this is happening?
I saw a brief sentence saying so, and that the children will all be CGI.
Parenthetical, the babies will be CGI.
Yeah.
Someone's like, I'm putting that in my email signature. The babies will be CGI. And every sentence with that. So, yeah, I think you have to do babies as CGI. I don't think there's any way.
Will not be a baby's day situation. Out. Baby's day out.
It's like you can't. The babies don't emote. It's like the lions don't emote.
They're gonna have to work
in the live action Lion King.
have to work real hard to sell this one and not make it like an Uncanny Valley situation, because you're going to assume that the adults are going to be actors, live action actors, playing against these computer generated babies.
Let's work this through. What do you think? Here's my initial thought. It's a Grinch situation where everything is sort of exaggerated.
No, fair.
And it's 90s, so it's like neon. Everything is sort of like wacky. Like Dee Dee's hair is crazy. It's like when they try to do live action Simpsons. Like it looks bizarre.
Yeah.
Do you think they'll do that, or do you think they'll try to do it straight?
I think they'll try to do it straight. I think they'll try to do it straight. Because those characters, the art style on that show, and the mom and the dad, even the grandfather, they all look weird. Chucky's dad looks like he's just a doodle.
He's a doodle, sure.
Yeah, it's like one of those things that you would draw on the corner of your his hair is
your notebook
just
paper,
like a straight
Yeah. I'm very interested to see what this looks like. I mean, I love the Rugrats. We started watching them recently, and I didn't. I'm not gonna watch like All Growed Up or whatever. Like I don't need that. But those original 2 seasons or whatever it was great. It was fine.
It's like, what if they did live action Doug, and then they said, well, we're not gonna make Skeeter Valentine blue. He's just gonna be a kid. That's the wrong choice.
That's the wrong choice. He definitely needs to be blue. Yeah. Roger needs
But they're not gonna. They'll be like, oh, we're not gonna call him Mr. Dink anymore. We're gonna call him Mr. Phallus. It's better.
That is better. Yeah.
No, they miss the point of Mr. Dink at that point, because then Mr. Phallus wouldn't stand for Dink. Well, it would, but Dink wouldn't. Dink always stood for dual income, no kids. So.
What? Is that true?
It is.
What are you talking about? Dual income.
That's why they were the Dinks.
For reals?
Yeah, Mr. and Mrs. Dink. Yeah, dual income,
rich?
no kids.
Did they like have a lot of extra?
Well, he had all the time to do all those experiments and science things. Yeah,
but they were older. Are we sure they didn't have kids?
We don't know that they were older. How old do you think they were? Could have been young.
I always assumed they were a little bit older than Doug's parents.
They probably could have been the same age.
Because he was always there. Did he go to work? I feel like he was always hanging around the house.
Maybe he worked from home.
Well, maybe that wasn't a thing back then.
Too much deep
Nobody
diving
worked from
into
home
this.
back then.
Yeah, he worked for himself.
I thought he was retired. I don't think he was. I don't think they were dual income. I feel like he was retired because he was just always there doing stuff.
All this unwritten lore about these.
I need to go back.
Characters.
It's like I was watching. The kid finally wanted to watch the Jurassic Park movies, so I was going back and watching those. And I was telling you throughout the first Jurassic Park. Hammond keeps saying, I spared no expense. He said that's the thing throughout the whole thing. I spared no expense.
Yeah.
But then when he's talking to Nedry talks about how he bid for this job and he's mad that he's not getting paid a lot. So like right there is something where he literally did spare expense because he took the lowest bid, and that's what was his downfall. But then you were trying to say that that's the joke, the whole thing, because everything is cheap. Even the ice cream is like generic brand.
Sure. That was my little joke, but like
that was
even
your
like
joke,
yeah.
But is that true though? Like, what else did he like?
Well,
cheap out on?
We know he cheaped out on Nedry because he was the only person running like an operation system for this whole park, and he even makes mention of it. I don't know. It just seems like there was a lot to fail.
Well, sure,
but
maybe
it wasn't the joke. I don't know.
But maybe. If like there was one area where he didn't spare no expense, it was the worst possible area. Maybe that's what it is. It's like, you bought this, but then you mentioned the fish, he offered them,
the Chilean sea bass. Yes,
that's like a trash fish.
It was I think it's like a sawtooth fish, and that's its actual name. And they couldn't sell this fish. So they renamed it and called it Chilean sea bass.
It sounds fancy.
Not in the movie itself, but in
real life.
Real life, yes.
Yeah. They gave him a brand makeover.
Right, exactly. So they had this fish that was easily produced, but it was called something terrible. So they called it Chilean sea bass. Yeah.
I don't want to eat a sawtooth. Ooh, Chilean. That's how sea bass.
Oh, it's so fancy. Right.
it's like how lobster is like the fanciest food now, but a lobster is just a sea cockroach, and they used to
they fed it to the pigs.
They didn't want to eat it. Nobody wanted to eat that. Like some bad guy had the. How did they rebrand that?
They killed them. They'd use them for fertilizer back in the day.
God.
They're so abundant. Right?
Was it just a little thing of butter? Like you just wanted something to dip the butter in?
It's a good question. I mean,
because nobody likes lobster without butter. It doesn't taste like anything.
I mean, yeah, it doesn't. I would say it does.
No, just right out of the shell.
You like
if
lobster?
You get it in like the sandwich.
You like lobster, right? Lobster's
I like
delicious.
butter.
Butter's even better.
The best.
Yes,
I used to get the lobster roll from McDonald's. I remember they used to have that. Oh, I love that. The stupid piece of lettuce.
We had lobster rolls at the store, the company, over the summer as like a limited edition thing, and we were bringing in 5 pounds of lobster salad daily.
Woo!
And so good. It was good lobster. It was big claws, everything. Yeah, big claws. Sometimes you got some tail meat in there.
Oh, they got some tail meat? Yeah.
You were talking about, real quick,
I'm hungry.
going back, and you were talking about Jurassic Park. But I wanted to mention this. I told it to you. A couple people are rediscovering it, and I've known about it for like the last 15 years. But the Back to the Future 3 blooper at the end of the movie with Doc Brown's kid, I think it's Vern, and I feel like we have to talk about it. Because the poor kid had to go to the bathroom in the scene. And you don't notice it until you do notice it. And this poor kid is making the most uneasy face. And then he kind of does like a finger gesture where he points. And then it's like, please come here. I have to go. So there's a couple other... It had come up on a For You page.
But that was the best take. They had to use that. That was the best take. The director is just like,
kids got no line. It's like literally, kids, step forward when your names are called, and then just stand there. That's all you have to do.
I think it was a famous
Christopher
kid
Lloyd,
actor, though, wasn't he?
Was he? No,
wasn't he in like North or something?
What?
Or he was one of the kids from Mrs. Doubtfire, or from Hook. He was the kid from Hook, right?
That was also the kid from Mrs. Doubtfire, but no, that wasn't the kid.
No, it wasn't. So it's the taller kid, right? The one on the left?
It's the shorter kid, the blonde kid.
Oh, okay, that kid.
The incontinence.
But the other kid, I feel like, is the kid from all the things I just said.
I don't believe it is.
Let's see.
Okay.
What would be his name? Would be Jules?
Yeah.
Jules Brown.
Jules Brown. Famous Jules Brown.
Let's see. Who played Doc Brown's kids in Back to the Future? Jules... Aristotles, Brown, and Vern, blah, blah, blah. Todd Cameron, and Daniel Evans. Are they anything?
Well, Daniel Evans became Chris Evans, so...
Oh, there you go.
No.
Oh, no, I think I'm wrong here. I think I am wrong. Oh, this is probably just another Tom Cameron. Well, I don't know.
That's okay.
We'll look into it. Usually
Needless to
say,
somebody. What a blooper.
Needless to say. What a blooper. Wah, wah. I hear they're remaking Back to the Future. We should probably talk about that. But we're not gonna. It's not real. They'll never do it. I think that's in Robert Zemeckis' will. It says never remake this or I'll haunt you.
Never remake E.T. Never make Jaws. Never. You can make movies that are akin to Jaws and akin to Back to the Future, but you can never remake Back to the Future.
What even could be akin to Back to the Future?
What's that movie?
What could you do that wouldn't be directly Back
17
to the Future?
Again was one.
Is that like a teen movie? I don't know.
I think it had Zac Efron in it.
Oh.
He went back in time. He wasn't he Matthew Perry? And then he went back in time as a kid?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think I'm right.
I don't know. Sounds right. Was there a DeLorean?
No.
Is there any car?
Probably.
I just see him. Oh, yeah, Matthew Perry. Yeah. Leslie Mann, Thomas Lennon. Michelle Trachtenberg. Where's she been?
Hopefully doing better than what's her name?
Sure, her eyes look jaundiced. That's not great.
Oh, no. Who?
Michelle Trachtenberg claps back at critics questioning her health. Well, I just did. So I hope she's okay.
Jeez.
I hope she's okay. This is from January of this year. She looks not well, but I'm sure. what child actor looks well these days?
Certainly not Amanda Bynes. Poor Amanda Bynes.
Poor Amanda Bynes. Yeah, that's rough. It's rough stuff right there. It's just hard. I feel like people have hopefully learned, don't put your kids into acting. It's just not worth it in the long run or even the short run. It's just like, just stop.
Don't
just
have your
stop.
kids do anything. Just have them
just
exist.
Let them be kids. Go to soccer practice.
Make them be micro copies of you, and they'll turn out fine.
You can't prevent it. They're gonna copy you anyway.
They are.
Well, that's our first episode of season 6.
Yep, and
it seemed pretty good.
If worse comes to worse, our series finale.
Series finale. Yep.
But we'll find out next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday, we'll find out. Next.
I'll tell you right now. If anything happens to you, the show will not go on because I can't commit to.
You don't have any of the passwords to upload stuff.
That's true.
I should probably write that. I should probably write that down, but
wasn't that a that was to be in your will that all the passwords needed to go to me?
No, it was just that you'd have to rewatch every episode from the beginning straight.
Okay. No, that was in your will for your family.
No, but I also want your family to do it. Well,
okay,
I just assume we die together so that.
Oh, fair enough.
There, but
that's
I
great.
guess you should need it.
That's great.
I should need. Yeah. All right. Well, we'll work on that. Hopefully, we'll see you next week.
Hopefully,
follow us on social media to see how I'm doing. If I have to put up a GoFundMe or something to rebuild my life, you can find that on our Instagram. Florida. Woo!
I gotta find out more about this hurricane.
No, you better check
Nothing
it out.
about it.
It was up to a category 3, but it just got downgraded to a category 2. So that's good news. We're going in the right direction.
Let's keep going.
Go to a tropical storm. Come on. All right, Billy. Anything else for this big week?
No, I think we've said enough.
No, it's enough. It's too much. All right, everybody. Well, you know what we say. We don't want to grow up, but we already did. Have a great week, everybody.
Bye, everyone.